So good morning, everybody. And, again, before I start, we're all in this together. And I keep talking about partnerships, being a marathon, not a sprint. It's been a long 293 days, 42 weeks. We will hit the year threshold, unfortunately, before we start to see the downside of everything that's going on. But Dr. Whalen and I continue to tell everyone, look, educate yourself, read stuff, go to the correct websites, and you can see what's going on around you. I actually had this gentleman, Richard, send me a message that, hey, I'm 60 years old, I haven't been doing the right thing, don't wear a mask, and I'm healthy as a horse. I'm happy for you, Richard. I really am. But it's the other people that might have underlying health issues or might not have underlying health issues that this affects. So please be courteous to other people. I know people don't believe in mask wearing, cleaning the hands, staying apart, shutting down, everything else. Listen to the scientists. Listen to the statistics, what they base it on. This has changed in the last 293 days. What we were dealing with in the beginning is different what we're dealing with now. And a new strain possibly coming from the UK. So again, please be patient and work with us. And the reality is, the hardest thing for me is when we lose somebody. And sadly, we have to report 8 additional deaths, and all Albany County residents, 5 women in their 90s, 2 women in their 90s, and 1 man in his 70s. 5 of these deaths were reported are associated with the Sisters of St. Joseph's in Latham. Rob Gavin did a great story yesterday, and to you. And it brings me back to the early on with this, when we had issues with reporting. And private nursing homes do not have to answer to the health departments in that respective counties that they're out of. They only have to answer to the Department of Health, State Department of Health, not county. So we had issues early on with numbers coming from nursing homes, and we thought we rectified most of it. Unfortunately, we have not, and again, it's a partnership, and there's a lot going on, and it's been a troublesome month alone, because now with these 8, these 3 additional, we are going to be higher than we were back in May. It was the highest peak of residents that passed away from this. It's tough on everybody, so my condolences, my prayers, my love go out to all the families, to the 218 families that are dealing with this. It's a hard time to lose anyone, but even harder in these difficult times. And as residents, and the one thing I love about Albany County is that the way we come together. And we shine when we're at our worst. And when we get knocked down, you get back up, and you're better for it. And we're stronger for it. And remember what I said, what you do today, don't have regrets 12 months from now. Don't look back and go, I should have done this. I shouldn't have acted like this. I shouldn't have panicked like that. Take a step back. Take a deep breath and realize the world around you's changed. Things are different. The workforce, the way we do business, the way we eat at restaurants, the way we shop. Everything's different. And it's going to stay that way for a while. So please, think of the people that continue to get affected by this and continue to pass away, unfortunately. As of today, we have 11,204 cases of COVID-19 in Albany County. That's an increase of 213 positive cases since yesterday. Yesterday, we saw an increase of 240. The day before that was 236. There are currently 3,093 people under mandatory quarantine. We know 15 had close contact with positive cases, 19 are healthcare workers, 179 don't have a clear source of infection at this time. Over the last 5 days, our average has been 218 new positive cases each day. Yesterday was 197.4. As of today, 36,721 people have completed quarantine. Out of those, 9,652 tested positive for the virus and have recovered. The increase of recoveries today is 206 since yesterday. One of the alarming things we continue to talk about is the hospitalizations. We had 15 more residents go into the hospital last night. We are now at another record for hospitalizations. We have currently 129 people hospitalized from this virus. This is the 4th day in a row that we set new records for hospitalizations. Yesterday we hit 127, the day before was 118, and the day before that was 116. The number's been trending upwards since December 26th. We've had over 100 residents in the hospital because of the virus at one time for the last 14 days consecutively now. Unfortunately, 21 patients are still currently in ICU. Yesterday it was 21. I continue to urge people, please wear your mask, cough into your arm, clean your hands, stay 6 feet apart. I know it's difficult. I know, again, I sound like a broken record, but please, it's working. We encourage, Dr. Whalen has said it time and time again, encouraging people to get the flu vaccine. It's working. The flu is definitely down from a year ago because people have their mask on. People are doing the right thing. To the people doing the right thing, thank you. And again, don't argue with people who don't want to do the same thing. Just move on and just continue on because it's not worth the argument. And to the doubters, just educate yourself. You want to you want to agree to disagree? I have no problem. You want to have a debate? Let's do it with education and science behind it, not on personal beliefs. Then I can have a great conversation with you. But again, educate yourself and we'll get through this. We continue to urge people to follow the science when it comes to the vaccines. We have heard from countless health experts that it's safe and effective, and we've seen more and more people say they're comfortable with taking it. Albany Medical Center, right now, Albany Medical Center Regional Hub vaccine website has just gone live. It will be found on the Albany County website soon on our COVID-19 webpage. It has a lot of important information including, so please go to their website. It is live. Questions and answers on basic information. Requests for volunteers to help Albany Med. The order plan for getting the vaccine out to public, and who will get it first? It's like the $1 million question. I continue to get this. Who will get it first? Where do I fall in the categories? For now, it includes 1A, 1B, and 1C. Generally, the healthcare workers, frontline essential workers, and older residents. 1C will include people aged 16 to 64 with underlying medical conditions. That's 1C. We're still in 1A. And people that are essential workers that fall in that category. But what we're dealing with is far more than just public health crisis. It's also an economy crisis that we've been dealing with. There's still so many small businesses struggling to make ends meet. Our brick and mortar stores, who are the foundation of our community, that make you live in a neighborhood, that become like family to you when you walk down the street or you go there it's just yourself to pick up a gallon of milk or a loaf of bread or whatever reason why you're stopping there, or just to say hello. They're in jeopardy of not being around. As people drive around and do the safe thing and you look around, how many stores are closed, how many are shutting down for the winter months, and how many aren't going to be able to reopen. So some of the things I want people to think about. Based on our recent sales tax report, when you compare this month of November this year to November 2019, we are down $2.1 million. That's a drop of 9.1%. We took another hit. The third quarter was looking a little bit better than the second, and we're hoping this quarter was going to come in strong. And I honestly was surprised that it dropped by 2.1 million. And when you look at the entire year up to November compared to the same time period last year, we're roughly down $21.5 million. That's down 8.4% from last year. When our small businesses suffer, our entire community suffers because the loss of sales tax revenue means we have less funding for critical programs, services for our residents that rely on them every day. So today we're here to announce an important initiative that was brought by the Albany County Legislature, and I want to thank them for that. It's a combined $500,000 grant program for local small businesses, each worth up to $5,000. We know $5,000 isn't a huge sum of money, but for any one business, but it's so important for an initiative for a small business that's struggling. One of the things that when I talked to Chairman Andrew Joyce and Legislator Wanda Willingham and many more other legislators, and we saw the PPE grant funding go out, was the fact that a lot of these small businesses didn't know how to fill it out. They didn't know how to do it. So one of the things we talked about when we started the Advance Albany County Alliance earlier this year was to make sure that we can hire people that will help these small businesses fill out the paperwork. Keep it simple. Keep it simple so that they can get these loans, because a lot of them are, don't want to deal with government for different variety of reasons, or just don't have the knowledge of how to apply for this grant. So we want to make sure, and I know Legislator Wanda Willingham, that was a big initiative too, to make sure that happens for small businesses. Because if you go around, just not the city of Albany, but the whole county, Watervliet, Green Island, Cohoes, Queens, they're all small little stores that, a little corner store, and they're not going to have the know-how or have the money to hire an accountant to fill out the paperwork to get them these different loans. So it's something that I want to commend the legislature for thinking about and doing in these difficult times of trying to help everyone out to the best of our ability. I wish we had more money to give out. I wish we could do more, but it's a step in the right direction. So considering the original amount was $300,000 and they just added $200,000. Thank you, Chairman Joyce. Thank you, Wanda Willingham. Thank you to all the legislators, Dustin Reedy, Matt, and the rest of them that are all involved with this, that got behind it and made sure that small businesses are just as important to us as the big business. So again, with the Alliance fund that we started, or economic development that we started to go forward to make sure that we can move in the right direction, business can start applying on January 4th for these grants. And again, it's a grant, it's not a loan, it's a grant. Wanted to straighten me out a couple times on that. I kept saying loan. She goes, no, grant. And it's a grant. We're there to help. So I'd like to pass it over now to County Legislature Chairman Andrew Joyce to talk about the initiative from the legislature and everything that they did for this. So, Chairman.
Thank you, Dan. I think despite the grim reporting today, the messages to small businesses is that help is on the way. The work continues. Albany County Legislature's membership is very diverse, very talented, very intelligent, hardworking. And at the height of the pandemic, I wanted to put that diversity and that intelligence towards innovating and coming up with creative ways to help Albany County get through the pandemic. So we convened a bipartisan COVID economic recovery task force led by our Deputy Chair, Wanda Willingham from Albany, also consisting of Albany County Legislator Matthew Peter from Albany and Jeffrey Purley from Altamont. So they did tremendous amount of work over the past 6 months, and part of our 2021 budget was dedicating all this money towards grant funding for these small businesses. And if you had told me 6 months ago when we started this that we'd be talking about close to $500,000 in a partnership with the Community Loan Fund for small businesses in Albany County, I wouldn't believe it, but that's exactly what we're doing today. And as the county executive had mentioned, starting on January 4th on Monday, businesses across Albany County can access this application online on the county website and also on the Community Loan Fund's website. Again, up to $5,000 you can apply for, which can be used up to 2 months back rent, 2 weeks of perishable goods, and any expenses related to retrofitting your establishment to protect yourselves, your employees, and your customers from COVID. I'm just really tremendously proud of this effort. This would not be possible without Wanda Willingham's leadership, Matthew Peter and Jeff Purley. Also our majority leader, Dennis Feeney, came up with the idea to dedicate additional funding to get us to that $500,000 mark. And we're just going to keep, as the county executive says, keep the chains moving in the right direction as we see our way through the pandemic. If it's possible to dedicate more resources to this fund in the future, we're going to do it. But I'm just tremendously proud of the work that was done by our task force. And I'll let Linda McFarland from the Community Loan Fund talk a bit more specifics about this grant funding, because it's not just grant funding. They're also going to help you see your way through your new business model as we work through the pandemic. A lot of businesses in Albany County have really innovated and came up with ingenious ways to run their business in the pandemic. But the Community Loan Fund is not only administering the grants and in the application process, but they're going to help you get through the pandemic and come up with innovative ways to do that. We wanted the Community Loan Fund partnership is because we wanted to keep the politics out of this process. This grant funding is going to be based off need and merit, not based off who you know. And we're just really proud to be working with experts like Linda in the Community Loan Fund. They've done this before in other municipalities, but this is the biggest effort in the Capital Region so far to help small businesses, and I'm just tremendously proud of this work, and I'll turn it over to Linda to talk a little bit more about specifics.
Thank you, Andrew. The Community Loan Fund is thrilled to be in this partnership. We know that small businesses have been disproportionately impacted by COVID, and funding for small businesses, particularly minority-owned businesses, was not equitable. As the county executive mentioned, there are cases where small businesses didn't know how to fill out applications, or they didn't have a good relationship with a bank to be able to apply for some of this funding. But when it comes down to it, what is needed is grant funding for these small businesses. They do not need to take on additional debt. They need grants in order to survive. So we are thrilled to be partnering and administering this grant program. As was mentioned, the grant program opens on January the 4th, which is Monday, and it will close on January 19th. So please get your applications in. The application will be live on the Community Loan Fund website as well as the county's website. If any small business owners would prefer to have a hard copy, our office is located at 255 Orange Street in downtown Albany, and in the lobby where there will be no contact with people, but there will be applications, hard copy applications there available with instructions on how to get the applications to us. So we will be reviewing the applications. You'll be hearing from us if there's any information missing, or if you have any questions on how to fill out the application. We are providing training and technical assistance free of charge, not only through the application process, but also afterwards. We've developed a series of training programs for COVID-related reopening your business. How do you survive during COVID? How do you survive going forward? What changes need to be made to your business model? And we have a whole series of COVID-related workshops that are all done virtually. We also provide one-on-one virtual over the phone or through Zoom, FaceTiming, training and technical assistance, and all of that is free. We encourage small businesses, whether you are borrowers of the loan fund or not, to reach out to us for that training and technical assistance, because it's critically important for small businesses to survive in our communities. And again, we are just thrilled to be able to partner, and this is the largest grant program we have been involved with, so we're very, very excited.
Linda, thank you. And again, to get beyond everything, the Community Loan Fund, don't forget, it's the 14th of January to 19th, 2021. Yes, it's around the corner, 2021. So again, the partnership and taking the politics out of it, and that's the most important thing. Making sure that it gets to the people based on the needs, not based on politics or anything else. So again, I want to commend the Albany County Legislature and everyone involved with this, because every little thing we can do to help make a difference is there, especially when you see 2.1 million drop in November alone and 21.8 million over the course of last year to this year. It has an effect. It's going to have a ripple effect, not just here on the county, but towns, cities, and villages. And we need to be in this together to get through it, because working together, we will get through it and continue. So Linda, thank you. And to our Albany County Alliance, to Kevin O'Connell and them, thank you for everything, for being involved with this. And we are going to be looking at people that can help businesses fill out these applications. We will be putting something out there via RFP and other means to help people, because again, if you have an issue with filling it out, don't understand it, don't worry, we'll be there, we'll help you, we'll walk you through it, because we want to be there for you going into the future. So again, I want to encourage everyone to go out and get tested. Please go out, whether you have signs or symptoms, get tested. It helps us pinpoint where the virus is at in the community, what neighborhood it's affecting more than others, and it actually helps too when we do the tracing, and we're actually doing the investigation work to find out if someone was involved or if they had a test that makes it easier. So please, Whitney Young, if you don't have insurance, we pay for it. They've been a great partner since the beginning of this, and you can call them at 518-465-4771. And again, UAlbany is free, totally free, whether you have insurance or not. 1-888-364-3065. And UAlbany, Price Chopper, CVS, Priority One, and the rest of them I could go on and on and on. albanycounty.com. Go to our website. You can see when testing's available, the wait times, all that stuff. So in the age category, if you have children that you want to get tested, we're in this together, and it is going to be a difficult next 18 days. The vaccine's here. The studies are coming back. A pregnant nurse just got the shot yesterday, I believe. The confidence is well up compared to where it was, a couple months ago. This will help. It will help stop the spread. But just because you got the shot doesn't mean, you can't infect people. So I want to remind people that just because you have the antibodies, they don't know how long they stay in your body for. Some say a month, some say a couple months, no more than 7 so far, they're finding out. Again, I know people that had it and got positive again, got it the second time. So, they thought they were safe. Don't let your guard down. Please continue to wear your mask, clean your hands, stay 6 feet apart, do the right thing. We'll get through this. It's going to be difficult times, but we'll get through it. And I will say to everyone again, don't take my word for it. Go to the Times Union, go to the media outlets, go look at what they're reporting on, go on to the CDC, go to the World Health Organization, go educate yourself. Again, not to sound like a broken record. You want to have a debate? I don't mind if we can agree to disagree, but let's have a logical debate and discussion on the education and the science, not just on your personal beliefs. And thank goodness none of you that feel like it's not real or it's not affecting you. It has happened to you or a loved one. Because trust me, when you look at these 218 families that this affected, it takes its toll. And the people in the hospital, the 127 people in the hospital, it takes its toll. And the long recovery when they come out of the hospital. It's just they don't come out the door and everything's hunky-dory and the sun rises and their life's great. They have a long road to recovery. And please, think about all the people that are fighting addiction, because it's a struggle. Zoom's great for a lot of people in business that we're doing Zoom. It works out good for us. Less running around, more meetings we can't say no to. But the issue with it is when people are having suicidal thoughts or fighting addictions, they need that be with people. They need that contact. I don't know what's worse, COVID-19 or not having that support. And I've seen it struggle in my own family and the effect that has had. One brother who's been recovered for 22 years, he struggled, and it's hard. So please think of people around you. Mental health is available 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., 518-269-6634. And our 24-hour sexual assault hotline number, as always, 518-447-7716. Our 211 in the New York State hotline. Again, thank you, everyone. Thank you to the Legislature, and thank you to the partnership with Linda and everyone else in our alliance. Please stay safe out there.